I think she is on the phone, and my sister is also there. She's on the call also. If you have, do you have a book, Lanyaka? Do you want to read also?
Sure, I can read.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so Samya Mataji, you can start. We will read 5 verses. You can read 5 verses, and then Mansi Ganga Mataji will read, my sister, and then I. We all can take turns to read 5 verses each. Thank you.
I did not understand who is starting what.
You can start, Mataji. We'll read only the translation, okay? Because today we are just starting the new chapter. So we'll read only the translations. So you can read translations of text 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the next devotee will read from 6 to 10. And then we'll again come back to you. After
Oh,
4 people, then it will be your turn again. Yeah. After me, you will read again. Okay?
okay, ma'am. Chapter 1, Translation. Sri Maitreya said, Swayambhuva Manu begot, genealogical table of the daughters of Manu. Translation. Sri Maitreya said, Swayambhuva Manu begot 3 daughters in his wife Satarupa, and their names were Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti. Verse 2. Akuti had 2 brothers, but in spite of her brothers, King Swayambhuva Manu handed her over to Prajapati Ruchi on the condition that the son born of her be returned to Manu as his son. This he did in consultation with his wife Satarupa. 3. Text 3. Ruchi, who was very powerful in his Brahmanical qualifications and was appointed one of the progenitors of the living entities, begot 1 son and 1 daughter by his wife Akuti. Of the two children born of Akuti, the male child was directly an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his name was Yagna, which is another name of Lord Vishnu. The female child was a partial incarnation of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu. Swayambhuva Manu very gladly brought home the beautiful boy named Yagna, and Ruchi, his son-in-law, kept with him the daughter Dakshina.
Thank you, Mataji. Manasi Ganga Mataji, would you like to continue?
Okay. 6. The lord of the ritualistic performance of yagna later married Daksina, who was anxious to have the personality of Godhead as her husband. And in this wife the Lord was also very much pleased to beget 12 children. 7. The 12 boys born of Yagna and Dakshina were named Tosha, Pratosha, Santosha, Bhadra, Santi, Adaspati, Idhama, Kavi, Vibhu, Svana, Sudeva, and Rakshana. 8. During the time of Svayambhuva Manu, these sons all became the demigods collectively named the Tusutas. Marichi became the head of the 7 rishis, and Yagna became the king of the demigods, Indra. 9. Swayambhuva Manu's 2 sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada, became very powerful kings, and their sons and grandsons spread all over the 3 worlds during that period. 10. My dear son Swayambhuva Manu handed over his very dear daughter Devahuti to Kardama Muni. I've also spoken to you about them, and you have heard about them almost in full.
Am I next?
Yes.
11. Swayambhuva Manu handed over his daughter Prasuti to the son of Brahma named Daksha, who was also one of the progenitors of living entities. The descendants of Daksha are spread throughout the three worlds. Well, you have already been informed about the 9 daughters of Kartama Muni, who were handed over to 9 different sages. I shall now describe the descendants of those 9 daughters. Please hear from me. 13. Kardama Muni's daughter Kala, who was married to Marichi, gave birth to 2 children whose names were Kashyapa and Purnima. Their descendants are spread all over the world. 14. My dear Vidura, of the 2 sons, Kashyapa and Purnima, Purnima begot 3 children, namely Viraja, Vishwaja, Devakulya. Of these 3, Devakulya was the water which washed the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead and which later on transformed into the Ganges of the heavenly planets. 15. Anasuya, the wife of Atri Muni, gave birth to 3 very famous sons, Soma, Dattatreya, and Durvasa, who were partial representations of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and Lord Brahma. Soma was a partial representation of Lord Brahma, Dattatreya was a partial representation of Lord Vishnu, and Durvasa was a partial representation of Shiva.
Thank you. Text 16. After hearing this, Vidura inquired from Maitreya, My dear master, how is it that the 3 deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, who are the creator, maintainer, and destroyer of the whole creation, become the offspring of the wife of Atri Muni? Maitreya said, When Lord Brahma ordered Atri Muni to create generations after marrying Anasuya, Atri Muni and his wife went to perform severe austerities in the valley of the mountain known as Viksha. In that mountain valley flows a river named Nirvindya. On the bank of the river are many Ashoka trees and other plants full of palisa flowers. And there is always the sweet sound of water flowing from the waterfall. The husband and wife reached that beautiful place. Text 19. There, the great sage concentrated his mind by the yogic breathing exercise, and thereby controlling all attachment, he remained standing on one leg only, eating nothing but air, and stood there on one leg for 100 years. 20. He was thinking, May the Lord of the universe, of whom I have taken shelter, kindly be pleased to offer me a son exactly like him.
Hare Krishna, this is Govardhan Leela. I don't know where we're at. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada.
We're on verse 21.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Mataji. Verse 21.
Canto
Okay.
4, Chapter 1, Verse 21.
Okay.
Machi, who am I reading or
Govardhan Leela Mataji, would you like to read?
You're just doing translations, correct?
Correct.
So 21 through 20, what?
25.
Okay, thank you. We're in Canto 4, yes?
Yes, correct.
Okay. 21. While Atri Muni was engaged in these severe austerities, a blazing fire came out of his head by virtue of his breathing exercise, and that fire was seen by the three principal deities of the three worlds. 22. At that time, the three deities approached the hermitage of Atri Muni, accompanied by the denizens of the heavenly planets, such as the celestial beauties, the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, the Vidyadharas, and the Nagas. Thus, they entered the ashram of the great sage who had become famous by his austerities. 23. The sage was standing on one leg, but as soon as he saw that the three deities had appeared before him, he was so pleased to see them all together that despite great difficulty, he approached them on one leg. 24. Thereafter, he began to offer prayers to the three deities who were seated on different carriers, a bull, a swan, and Garuda, and who held in their hands a drum, kusha grass, and a discus. The sage offered them his respects by falling down like a stick. 25. Atri Muni was greatly pleased to see that the three devas were gracious towards him. His eyes were dazzled by the effulgence of their bodies, and therefore he closed his eyes for the time being.
Thank you, Mataji. Dhira Shanta Mataji, I see you on the call. Would you like to read?
Yeah, I love to read Mataji, but I'm outside. I don't have book with me.
Oh, I see.
Thank you, Mataji. I'm just listening today. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Soumya Mataji, now it's your turn again.
Okay, ma'am. But 26. But since his heart was already, sorry, 26, 27. But since his heart was already attracted by the deities, somehow or other he gathered his senses, and with folded hands and sweet words he began to offer prayers to the predominating deities of the universe. The great sage Atri said, O Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, you have divided yourself into three bodies by accepting the three modes of material nature, as you do in every millennium for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all of you and beg to inquire whom of you three I have called by my prayer. 28. I call for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, desiring a son like him, and I thought of him only. But although he is far beyond the mental speculation of a man, all three of you have come here. Kindly let me know how you have come, for I am greatly bewildered about this. 29. The great sage Maitreya continued. Upon hearing Atri's Muni speak in that way, the three great deities smiled, and they replied in the following sweet words. 30. The three deities told Atri Muni, Dear Brahmana, you are perfect in your determination, and therefore, as you have decided, so it will happen. It will not happen otherwise. We are all the same person upon whom you are meditating, and therefore we have all come to you.
31. You will have sons who will represent a partial manifestation of your potency, and because we desire all good fortune for you, those sons will glorify your reputation throughout the world. 32. Thus, while the couple looked on, the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesvara, disappeared from that place after bestowing upon Atra Muni the benediction. 33. Thereafter, from the partial representation of Brahma, the moon god was born of them. From the partial representation of Vishnu, the great mystic Dattatreya was born. And from the partial representation of Sankara, Lord Shiva, Durvasa was born. Now you may hear from me of the many sons of Angira. 34. Angira's wife, Shraddha, gave birth to 4 daughters named Sinivali, Kuhu, Raka, and Anumati. 35. Besides these 4 daughters, she also had another 2 sons. One of them was known as Utatya, and the other was the learned scholar Brihaspati.
36. Pulastya begot in his wife Shivarbhu one son of the name Agastya, who in his next birth became Duhragni. Besides him, Pulastya begot another very great saintly son whose name was Vishrava. 37. Vishrava had 2 wives. The first wife was Adivida, from whom Kubera, the master of all Yakshas, was born, and the next wife was named Keshini, from whom 3 sons were born, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishana. 38. Gati, the wife of the sage Pulaha, gave birth to 3 sons, named Karmashreshta, Virayan, and Sahishnu, and all of them were great sages. 39. Kratu's wife, Kriya, gave birth to 60,000 great sages, named the Valakya Akhilas. All these great sages were greatly advanced in spiritual knowledge, and their bodies were illuminated by such knowledge. 40. The great sage Vasishtha begot in his wife Ujra, sometimes called Arundhati, 7 spotlessly great sages headed by the sage named Chitraketu.
Text 41. The names of these 7 sages are as follows: Chitraketu, Surochi, Viraja, Mitra, Ulbana, Vasubhadrayana, and Dhuman. Some other very competent sons were born from Vashishta's other wife. Chiti, wife of the sage Atrava, gave birth to a son named Ashvashira by accepting a great vow called Dadyancha. Now you may hear from me about the descendants of the sage Brigu. 43. The sage Brigu was highly fortunate. In his wife, known as Khyati, he begot 2 sons named Dhata and Vidhata, and 1 daughter named Shri, who was very much devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 44. The sage Miro had 2 daughters named Ayati and Niyati, who he gave in charity to Dhata and Vidhata. Dhyati, Ayati, and Niyati gave birth to two sons, Mrikhanda and Prana. From Mrikanda, Markandeya Muni was born, and from Prana, the sage Vedashira, whose son was Usana. Um, Su- Sukar, Sukracharya, also known as Kavi. Thus, Kavi also belonged to the descendants of Brigu dynasty. Govardhan Lila Mataji, it is your turn.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me. 46, 47. My dear Vidura, the population of the universe was thus increased by the descendants of these sages and the daughters of Kardama. Anyone who hears the descriptions of this dynasty with faith will be relieved from all sinful reactions. Another of Manu's daughters, known as Prasuti, married the son of Brahma, named Daksha. Daksha begot 16 very beautiful daughters with lotus-like eyes in his wife Prasuti. Of these 16 daughters, 13 were given in marriage to Dharma, and one daughter was given to Agni. I guess I should just do should I stop there or should I do 49 to 52?
I can do if you want. I'll just.
Okay.
Ruchi
Go
Mataji,
ahead,
just
Mataji.
hold on. Mataji, you can finish this verse and then Ruchi Mataji can read. Then Soumya Mataji will read again.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
One of the remaining two daughters was given in charity to the Pitriloka, where she resides very amicably, and the other was given to Lord Shiva, who is the deliverer of sinful persons from material entanglement. The names of the 13 daughters of Daksha who were given to Dharma are Shraddha, Maitri, Daya, Shanti, Tushti, Pushti, Kriya, Unati, Buddhi, Meda, Titiksha, Kri, and Murti. These 13 daughters produced the following sons. Shraddha gave birth to Shubha. Maitri produced Prashada. Daya gave birth to Abhaya. Shanti gave birth to Sukha. Tushti gave birth to Muda. Pushti gave birth to Smaya. Kriya gave birth to Yoga. Unati gave birth to Darpa. Buddhi gave birth to Artha. Meda gave birth to Smriti. Titiksha gave birth to Shema, and Hri gave birth to Prashraya. Murti, a reservoir of all respectable qualities, gave birth to Sri Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, 53. On the occasion of the appearance of Narayan, the entire world was full of joy. Everyone's mind became tranquil, and thus in all directions the air, the rivers, and the mountains became pleasant. On the heavenly planets, bands began to play, and they showered flowers from the sky. The pacified sages chanted Vedic prayers. The denizens of heaven, known as the Gandharvas and Kinnars, sang. The beautiful damsels of the heavenly planets danced, and in this way, at the time of the appearance of Narayan, all kinds of good fortune were visible. Just at that time, great demigods like Brahma also offered their respectful prayers. The demigod said, "Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the transcendental personality of Godhead who created as his external energy this cosmic manifestation which is situated in him as air and clouds are situated in space, and who has now appeared in the form of Narayan Rishi in the house of Dharma. Let that Supreme Personality of Godhead who is understood by truly authorized Vedic literature and who has created peace and prosperity to destroy all calamities of the created world be kind enough to bestow his glance upon the demigods. His merciful glance can supersede the beauty of the spotless lotus flower, which is the home of the goddess of fortune." Let me know when the 5 verses are over. How many I've done? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so one more. Over 58. Over the demigods worship with prayers the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appearing as the sage Narayan. The Lord glanced upon them with mercy and then departed from Gandhamala hill.
59. That Naranarayana Rishi, who is partial.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, what text are we on in Canto 4, Chapter 1?
Text 59.
Did you say 59?
Yes.
Who?
Yes, Mataji. 59.
59. Wow, how
We're
did
just reading the translations.
Okay. Wow. Whew. Okay. Okay. I'm there. Thank you very much.
That Naranarayana Rishi, who is a partial expansion of Krishna, has now appeared in the dynasties of Yadu and Kuru in the forms of Krishna and Arjuna, respectively, to mitigate the burden of the world. 60. The predominating deity of fire begot in his wife Swaha 3 children named Pavaka, Pavamana, and Suchi, who exist by eating the oblations offered to the fire of sacrifice. 61. From those 3 sons, another 45 descendants were generated, who were also fire gods. The total number of fire gods is therefore 49, including the fathers and the grandfathers. 62. These 49 fire gods are the beneficiaries of the oblations offered in the Vedic sacrificial fire by impersonalist Brahmanas. The 63. The Agni Swastika, the Barhi Shadas and the Saumyas and Jyapas are the Pitas. They are either Sagnika or Niragnika. The wife of all these Pitas is Swada, who is the daughter of King Daksha. It's not important.
64. Svada, who was offered to the Pitas, begot 2 daughters named Vayuna and Dharani, both of whom were impersonalists and were expert in transcendental and Vedic knowledge. 65. The 16th daughter, whose name was Sati, was the wife of Lord Shiva. She could not produce a child, although she always faithfully engaged in the service of her husband. 66. The reason is that Sati's father, Daksha, used to rebuke Lord Shiva in spite of Shiva's faultlessness. Consequently, before attaining a mature age, Sati gave up her body by dint of yogic mystic power.
Thank you all for joining. I think today we have a maximum attendance. Today, I think we will finish a little early than usual. And then tomorrow we are going to start with verses 1 to 3, I think. So, any comments? Anyone would like to share anything from what we read so far?
I'm just curious. Well, maybe I shouldn't even ask this because the Bhagavatam doesn't go in chronological order, but you know, I mean, like by dates or anything. And so it's interesting that why now are we learning about this genealogical table? In other words, like in the Old Testament, this would be like the first page. This would be like in Genesis, the book of Genesis, the beginning of the first man, you know, and then all of the descendants of the first man and woman, you know. Excuse me. I'm just curious. There's a reason, there must be a reason why it's coming in the fourth canto, because it's in that order for a reason. We're not supposed to read these cantos out of sequence, I think. So I'm just curious if there was anyone ever spoke about that, as to why they come in this order now, or why we would do the genealogy of the daughters of Manu now, and not from the get-go, from the beginning.
I'm not sure, Mataji, but only thing that came to my mind when you were asking this question is that actually Bhagavatam is more like a discussion. So depending on the questions that were asked by the sages, and then in between, then we hear more discussions between Vidura and Maitreya, and depending on their questions, they are getting answered. So probably that's why we have topics which are not sequential. So, but I don't really know like why they were not put in a sequential order. I don't know. Maybe somebody else on the call would like to come.
Yeah, I think according to me, we are progressing from the feet of the Lord to the face. So like according to the level of service, like how Kapildev is like giving service to his mother, and so it's like to the level of service one is giving. So from the feet onwards, we are approaching towards like the more and more forms of service, like that is according to my thing. From the feet upwards, we are moving towards the head, right? That's how Bhagavatam proceeds, from the feet towards the face of the Lord.
Yes, Mataji.
That's true, yeah.
So procreation comes in the upper phases of godliness, like giving service in the upper than like I think according to me, I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't read it. It's just my thinking. What came to my thought is like how Kapil Dev is rendering service, and all these people are rendering services, and then producing children in the mode of goodness is also in the mode of service, and so it's coming higher up in the sequence. I don't know.
Thank you for sharing,
That's
Mataji.
interesting. Yeah, I mean,
Can
I'm
somebody
thinking,
repeat
why
what
should I ask? Yeah.
Ruchi Mataji just said? Like, I'm sorry, I could not catch it.
It's just a random thought. I mean, I haven't read it anywhere, but I was just thinking that we say that the Bhagavatam proceeds from the feet of the Lord to the face of the Lord towards the head. So we are not coming down from the head to the feet. We are going from the feet of the Lord to the head. So according to the level of service, like producing children in the mode of goodness is coming higher up in the later on in the sequence. That's what my take was. I'm not sure, just my thought.
So anyone else would like to share anything?
Actually, I have this book, Unveiling His Lotus Feet. So if you like, I can just read like what they're saying, just to get a better understanding of
Yeah,
what
that would be nice.
action. So this says, from text 1 through 10, the descendants of Akuti. Canto 3 ends with Maitreya's description of Lord Kapila's teachings, and Canto 4 begins with Maitreya's describing Swayambhuva Manu's descendants, Aditi, Devahuti, and her children. Manu had 3 daughters, Devahuti, Akuti, and Prasuti, and 2 sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada. Maitreya Muni's descriptions will now center on Manu's daughters and their children and further descendants. When Manu gave his daughter Akuti in marriage to Prajapati Ruchi, it was on the condition that the firstborn son would be given to Manu to be brought up as his son. Manu knew that the Supreme Lord Yagya, along with Yagya's eternal consort, Lakshmi Devi, would take birth as his grandchildren. Yagya, who indeed was an incarnation of the Lord, later assumed the position of Indra, and his children served him as the demigods, known as the Tushitas. Text 11 through 47. Further descendants of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. Devahuti and Kardama Muni's 9 daughters married 9 sages. Anasuya, the first daughter, married the great sage Atri Muni and gave birth to partial incarnations of Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Durvasa, and Lord Vishnu, Dattatreya. A second daughter, Shraddha, married Angira, and among their children were the learned scholar Brihaspati. Hivarbhu, a third daughter, married the sage Pulastya. They had 2 sons. One of them, the saint Vishrava, was the father of Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishana. Markandeya Muni was descended from the Bhrigu Muni and his wife, who were Kardama Muni's 7th daughters. Also descending from Bhrigu were Shukracharya, the priest who led the demons. Many other exalted sages resulted from these marriages, and thus the population of the universe increased through the exalted descendants of the sage sons of Lord Brahma and the daughters of Kardama Muni. In 47, Maitreya Muni offers the following benediction. Anyone who hears the description of this dynasty with faith will be relieved from all their sinful reactions. Text 48 to 66, the descendants of Prasuti and Daksha. Having described the descendants of both Akuti and Devahuti, two of Manu's three daughters, Maitreya Muni next describes the descendants of the daughters of Daksha and Prasuti. Manu's third daughter. After concluding his description of the marriage of 15 of his daughters, Maitreya describes Sati, the youngest daughter, who was married to Lord Shiva. Sati, Maitreya says, died without issues, leaving her body in the flames of a mystic trance after her father rebuked her faultless husband. That's it.
Thank you for sharing. Um, I was thinking that since we've just finished a little early today, which is kind of unusual, and then we have all the devotees, I wanted to share a personal thing with all of you. It's been a while that I was thinking of sharing, but then I never got a chance. So, actually, my husband and I, we are going to be parents soon. So, he's seeking all of your blessings. So, please bless us and bless us.
Oh,
So,
very good.
we can have
Congratulations.
a nice devotee come.
I'm so
Thank
happy to hear this, Mataji. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Yeah, it
Mataji.
was like high time.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
good.
you,
Remember
Mataji.
your promise, though, what you made once upon a time.
I don't remember any promises, Mataji.
Yeah, now you won't. Now you won't. No, and it's okay.
My memory, I have a Kali Yuga memory, so my promises, I don't remember them. So,
Yeah, when I first met her, I said, yeah, I will pray to Krishna, he'll make you a parent, and then you just leave the child with me and go do your duties in the temple. So she said, yes, I'll leave her in your house always since the beginning.
yes.
That's okay.
That's so nice. Oh,
So please kindly bless us and pray for us. So
Definitely, we
we can
will.
have it.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear this. This is
Thank you,
wonderful news.
Mataji. The whole time, we were reading the third canto, and then we were reading about how the jiva, whatever the hardships he has to go through before he can come out of the mother's womb. The whole time I was just meditating that, oh my God, what a time that we are reading the third canto, and then like I could relate very well to all of that. So. So the baby
Very
is due
happy to
in
hear that.
April. So um, I will try my best. I really like reading with all of you and having all of your association, but sometimes like my health is a little up and down, so I keep missing classes, which I don't want to, but I'm hoping that I can be a little bit more regular so that the baby also gets to hear all of you and the Srimad Bhagavatam. So thank you
Oh,
all for
wow.
being there.
So happy for you. Oh, my goodness. And yeah, and Leela Marjorie's going to be an auntie.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Of course. That's wonderful news.
Is there a due date? Do you have any idea how long?
Yeah, April,
A-
Mataji. Yeah. So April of 2021.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you all.
Congratulations, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, Samya Mataji, she's the only one who knows till now. I was thinking of personally calling all of you and sharing, but it was not happening. So then I thought, okay, at least let me share in the class. So sorry about that. I wanted to make it more personal, but
Well, this is a personal group, so it's very,
I
very
agree.
personal.
I agree, Mataji. Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
it's a
been for
very
so
nice,
many
you know.
years. Yeah, definitely. I feel like that.
How long
Okay.
have we, when did we start this group? Was it 4 years ago or
Yeah,
5 years? I don't know.
I think this January it will be 4 years, right, Manasi Ganga Mataji?
It was in the summertime that we started though, because I was on my way to go to Minnesota. It was summer.
Yeah, it's
So
almost
We
4 years
talked
because
during
I
the Vyasa
remember.
Puja
I'm
time,
sorry,
right?
I cannot hear. Too many people talking.
Uh, we talked about it during Rompad Maharaj's Vyasa Puja
Ye-
though. The first
oh,
time we talked was during the Vyasa Puja. Like
oh,
new
you think
cards
so?
delivery to them.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So sometime I thought in January or February we talked about it, but I don't exactly know like when we started. But
Mhm.
yeah, I still remember like it was in the dining room upstairs. We both were sitting and then we were like, yeah, it would be nice if we all read together. So yeah.
I remember. I remember coming down the stairs and
You already read the whole. You have already read the whole Bhagavatam once, right?
Uh no. I at least I didn't read. I don't know.
No, because when I joined, we were in the middle of some canto. I don't remember when Premrasa told me to join. It's been three and a half years, and after
Yeah.
that we started from canto one again.
No, Mataji. We were always in Canto 1 before that. So yeah,
Really?
we are just going book by book slowly, verse by verse. So yes. Mm.
Oh, okay. Then I haven't missed much because I was thinking we started all over again. So maybe I'm wrong. So
I wish your words
okay.
come true, Mataji, and then we can continue to read Prabhupada's books like that again and again and again. So any final comments, anything that anyone would like to share before we end?
I'm
Yeah.
just happy that my nephew or niece is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Mm.
very
Thank you
nice.
all. Thank you all.
Yes. Mm. Right, yes.
Okay then.
He grows up reading. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Thank you all very much for being there for us. So we will end with this note. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Krishna, God bless you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.